Do you feel the vibes?
Yeah. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, dudes and dudettes, citizens all? Welcome back. Hello. I'm glad to see you. Today I'm going to play around with weapon loadouts. I'm going to break them down into two categories. The first one will be the energy loadout. That's your lasers and your scatter guns. And then your second one will be the ballistic ones. These are your high velocity projectiles that shatter armor and stuff. So I'm going to play with that, break those down a little bit, and then I'm going to go further and break it down even more with combat loadouts, and then I'm going to have like a general defense type of loadout, and then the deterrent loadout. That's the kind to keep people off of you so you can bug out safely. So it's going to be a learning thing for myself too, because I never really dealt into this at all. Really, because I'm just so caught up in learning how to fly my ship, and I'm just really geeked about exploring. I haven't really thought about combat and weapons or all that kind of crap like that. I really don't care because I'm not a PvP player. But you're going to come across situations where you will have to fight. You will have to fight. Either whether you're challenged by an aggressive player, or of course you come across the NPC aliens or NPC pirates or whatever, but then that's by choice. But I'm talking about mainly if you're caught between a rock and a hard place, and you have to scrap. So I want to talk about these weapons a little bit and jump into it. I'm also going to use a matrix that I kind of highlighted a few months earlier, made by Honest Skilled Gaming, and I'm going to be referencing that matrix all the way through this video. So if you have not checked it out, I'm going to post a link to it below the video, and I want you to go support these guys and check out the hard work, because I really like this matrix. It really explains things much clearer, so it gives me a better idea of what I'm working with. So with that being said, let's dig in. Energy weapons destroy shields. Period. That's what they are made to do. Once they eat up the shield, they begin to beat down and burn the hull of a ship until the metal breaks apart, and poof, no more ship. Very straightforward, very simple. However, energy weapons are kind of like the prima donna weapon. You have to budget your shots. Don't waste your shots. If you don't have a clear look, don't squeeze the trigger. Simple. It's not like patch 2.63 where you could just like hold down a trigger with a repeater and just keep on shooting into wild space until you hit a target. You didn't have any consequences back then. Now you do. Now you do. Now you will have to manage the resources of your ship. You have to manage your shields, you have to manage your weapons, you have to manage your fuel, all that kind of stuff. So you're caught up in combat. Choose your energy weapons accordingly, because they will pull a awful lot from your power plant. For example, say the Hornet, the Super Hornet, has all energy weapons now. All energy weapons. I think at one point it had some ballistic weapons, but now it's all energy weapons. It has repeaters and it's got lasers. So imagine that's a big draw on that power plant. So it's got a beefy power plant to back up these weapons. So that's basically it. Energy weapons burn up shields. Certain energy weapons are specialized for just destroying the shields, like the neutron cannon. Neutron cannons, the bigger the neutron cannon, the better they are at destroying the shields. These are also good for deterrence. I'll get to that later. But energy weapons just destroy shields. Remember that. When you're looking for a loadout for your ship, if you're thinking about PvP or general use, But I think this is mostly for PvP though. I mean, if you're looking to go play against other players, or you're expecting to catch a lot of flack because you're going into certain areas, well then you're going to think about that. So you want to think about weapons that will eat up the shield as quickly as possible, and those are typically your energy weapons. So let's go over to the ballistics part. All right, ballistics, bullet. That's it. Real simple. Ballistics equal a bullet. Any weapon that fires a high velocity projectile is a ballistic weapon. Um, duh. But I figure I'll just throw that in there. But ballistics chew up armor. That's it. Ballistics chew up armor. These are great weapons, especially for PvP. They're really, really good weapons. And they're great for singling out a certain part of your target's ship. Really. Now in 3.0, you can target sections of a ship, because I've done it. You can target the engine to where the engines will not accelerate. You can target the ailerons or the flaps of a ship, the wings, to where it can't steer or turn properly. You can target the cockpit. You know, it's like, say, well, we all know how the Buccaneer is, right? Two shots in the dome and it's over, right? Even though it has crazy firepower, too many shots up front and it's over. Same thing. You can use a ballistic weapon to just literally just chew up certain sections on a ship. If you're going up against the Cutlass, you can use ballistic weapons to chew up the engines. One engine's gone, that Cutlass is almost like immobilized. Get rid of both engines, she's a sitting duck. They're very effective at destroying metal, destroying hull. I mean, you can even, because I even managed to destroy the cannon off of a constellation. I destroyed the bottom cannon by just simply zooming in on that and just focusing my ballistic weapons on that turret and knock the turret out. You can do that. You can do that with lasers too, but ballistics are much more effective when it comes down to armor. Energy weapons take longer to wear the armor down, but ballistic weapons chew it up pretty quickly. And of course, we all know the bigger the ballistic weapon, the greater the damage. And there's no drain on your power plant. You can fire as frequently as you want to. However, ballistic weapons have a limited amount of ammo. That's your downside, a limited amount of ammo. Especially if you have a high rate of fire, like say if you have a chain gun, or the ballistic repeater, like the sawbuck. That's a good little gun too. I like that little gun, the cannon. It's a really good cannon. It's almost like a 3-barrel submachine gun. It's pretty cool, and it causes a lot of damage. But they all have limited ammo. And so when you're using a ballistic weapon, please keep that in mind, because the last thing you want is to squeeze that trigger and you hear that AI say, ammo depleted. And then you're depleted. That's it. So that's ballistic weapons in a nutshell. It's kind of a big nutshell. But there you go. I just wanted to explain that a little bit to you. I'm sure a lot of you already know this stuff, but I'm kind of like talking to that guy who just started and really doesn't know a whole lot already. And again, I don't know a whole lot, so I'm just kind of like regurgitating this as I'm learning it, and hopefully I'll someone pick it up and go, okay, I got the idea. So now you got it. Energy weapons burn up the shields, ballistics tear up the armor. Now you get what I'm going at with this, right? A hybrid loadout. Here we go. I'm going to go into the loadouts next, so stand by. Loadouts, combat loadout in particular. I'm going to keep this real short and sweet. you do not want all weapons, I mean all energy weapons, and you do not want all ballistic weapons. All ballistic weapons is going to, all that's going to do is guarantee that you're going to turn up empty before the whole thing is over with. Because if you're going to go into the arena, it's a long haul. You're going to run out. So going all ballistic, not a good idea. I would recommend a hybrid loadout. I would have maybe a couple of energy weapons, just a high-powered energy weapons to weaken or wear down the shield, and then you have your ballistic weapons, your high-gauge ballistic weapons to go in there and tear shit up, and then you can go on to the next target. That's my best suggestion. I mean, if you guys use all energy weapons effectively, hey, good for you, man. Good for you. I mean, but my thing is, if you have a whole lot of energy weapons, like I own a Super Hornet, right? My Super has nothing but energy weapons on it, all energy weapons, and just mashing down the trigger button on all both sets of weapons, it's going to drain my power plant eventually, and it's going to put me in a bad situation. And I hate that idea. I hate that. That's going to suck ass and lemon juice. So, like, whenever I go into Arena Commander, I just like keep half the energy weapons, but then replace the other ones with some ballistic weapons, so I can beat up the ship that I'm shooting at, and give my energy weapons a chance to recharge, and give my power plant a break. So I mean, it's that way you can go the whole distance. Or if you're doing a pirate swarm, if you have nothing but ballistic weapons, you're going to run out, man. Even though they drop, they do drop power ups so you can replenish some ammo. You're going to run out by the time you get to the bigger ships. You're going to come into some problems. So having a hybrid loadout, I think, will be best for combat. So I'm at the Honest Skill Gaming website, so I'm kind of like mulling through it. It's not 100% finished yet, but they have some really great details. I mean, because you can look at certain stuff and it'll tell you what the DPS is going to be on it. And you definitely want something that's going to cause the most amount of damage in the least amount of time. So they have their ammo speed and they have their DPS here. And your fire rate, which is cool too. That gives you an idea, like how fast they shoot and how much damage they can cause. So here's a neutron cannon. Neutron cannons are pretty slow. They have this one rated at 85 shots per minute, which I think is kind of slow. And you have a mass driver here. I don't like the drivers all that much. I have two sledges on my Hornet. On my Saber Comet. I don't like those. I really don't like them. They have a slow rate of fire, but they do chew up armor pretty well. It's just I just don't like them. I guess I just have to keep flying the Comet and just really get used to using them, because I don't want to like swap out loadouts too much. I want to learn how to use what I have and get good at that. But let's go back here to the website and let's look at some of these weapons. Okay, so for good energy weapon, the laser cannon is like your best go-to. They're normally like the most inexpensive energy weapon. Between these, the repeaters, I think these are cheaper, and they have I think they have a slower fire rate than repeaters do, but they have a bigger bang. So let's see if that's right. So according to these guys, it has a 135 DPS. It's fine. This is a size 3. Let's find a repeater. Size 3. Yeah. So the Panthers put out 95 DPS, whereas the M5A, it's the same size. The size 3 puts out 135 DPS, but it looks like it's slower. Yes, it is. Twice as slow. So your repeater has a fire rate of 275 shots per minute, whereas your M5 size 3 puts out 120 shots per minute. So yeah, it's very, very slow, but it causes more damage. So there you go. So you will have to think about the trade-off. Some energy weapons, they have a higher rate of fire, but cause less damage. But you have other weapons that have higher damage but slower rate of fire. So if your whole mission is to just diminish the shields, then I would probably just go with the slower lasers. These would eat up the shield. Uh, I think a lot better. Whereas these would take a little bit more work and a lot more energy. You know, these will drain your power plant faster than these would. So I mean that's what I'm kind of like talking about here when it comes out to like a hybrid. So I mean, you can put some lasers in, and then find some really good ballistic weapons. Let's see. Oh, tarantulas. You can't go wrong with a tarantula. 4 tarantulas, no target. I mean, I mean that's why they're all on the freelancer. That makes the freelancer a good ship because these tarantulas are very, very, very effective at smashing targets. Very effective. They're very slow, but good God, look at that damage. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. And see how fast the rounds are going? They're going pretty fast. So I mean, these rounds literally slam into the target at a high rate of speed. I'm gonna see if look at a chain gun. There's a chain. Let me see if there's a mantis. Okay, here's a mantis right here. Let's see. Low damage, very, very low damage. 32 DPS. And oh, look at this. They don't have a picture of the apocalypse, but they compared it. So you have the mantis here. So you got both chain guns. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So they put similar weapons side by side so you can compare them. That's nice. I like that. Okay, so you have your mantis, which is a size 3, and they have a DPS of 32. And they fire pretty fast too. 1050 shots per minute. Your Revenant, I have one of those too. These are, yeah, I like the slogan. If you want something torn up, aim a Revenant at it. They work nicely. And it's a size 4. Has slightly higher DPS. Much fast. Well, it's a little bit faster, and it has a higher rate of fire. So you have greater saturation with this one. So if you have 2 size 4 hard points, or at least 1 size 4 hard point that you can use, say use a flash fire mount, right? If you have a Hornet or a Cutlass, I think the Hornets can still use the flash fire mount, but I don't know if the remodeled Cutlass can use the flash fire mount. I think they're still, I don't know if they're going to like discontinue that or fix it to where you can use that flash fire. But if you can use the flash fire, you can get one of these and you can saturate your target with a shitload of ammo once the shields are down and put an end to them quick. So yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So I have 3 of these and I have one of these. I put all of these on my Hornet. If you saw it on my videos, I had a Hornet tracker, and I added 3 mantises and 1 Revy, and yeah, it caused a lot of damage, man. That was, yeah. If honestly, if you can get one of these, I would get one of these for your combat loadout. And here go this here. No, here's a sawbuck. I have one of these too. These are pretty good. These are like 3-barrel submachine guns. They don't cause a lot of damage though. I think it's like the same as the mantis. 32 DPS, slower rate of fire, 280 shots per minute. But you see what I'm saying? You can figure out what kind of hybrid loadout you want for your combat ship. I really recommend energy and ballistic, right? And then you could just like pick and choose how to attack your target. You know, you can wear out the shields with your energy weapons, and then when the energy weapons start to drain, switch over to your ballistics. You know what I'm saying? And then you can stretch out the combat. So if you're in like running a swarm, you don't have to worry about running out of ammo at all. You know, if you do it like that. And I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, it's really straightforward, but you really have to consider how much damage you want to put out, how much power consumption you're willing to put up with, and okay, they put these side by side. What's a weak laser cannon? There's no picture of it though. I don't know what that is. But the pyro burst. Yeah, that's what kind of figure. Okay, 76 DPS. And it's got a slow rate of fire, 70 shots per minute. But this guy is a close range weapon. It's a close range weapon. It's only once they get like beyond like 1500 kilometers, you can forget it. 1500 meters, I think. Yeah, 1500 meters, it's worthless. But If you close in, yeah, these are pretty good at eating up the shields. Really good at eating up shields. Let's see what. Let me look at something else. Of course, you have the repeater, and these are really good too. The neutrons, they have a real slow rate of fire, but these are great at eating up shields. I mean, if you could put two of these on your ship, and let's say you're using the Super Hornet. Okay, Super Hornet, you could put two of these. You could put like two of these, one on each wingtip, a pair of lasers, and then a pair of ballistic weapons. You could probably put let's see, a couple of let's see over here. You couldn't put two of these unless you put these on the wingtip. You could probably put two of these on the wingtip for your ballistics, and then put your neutrons on the turret, and put your lasers like in the nose. You could do it that way too. So you'll have your neutrons to eat up the shields. You have this to harass the enemy, and you have these to seal the deal. Huh? I think I might try it out myself. Okay, well, that's it. Well, I'm gonna move along now. But yeah, that's it for like combat loadouts. It's not really, I don't think it's like really rocket science, but it's just a question of what is it that you want to do. Do you want to harass the enemy, or do you want like just totally decimate them? Do you want to make short work out of them? So then you gotta think about how you can, what kind of enemy, what kind of ships are you gonna go up against? What size shields are they? Certain shields are really resilient against lasers. I mean, they can hold up pretty well against these. So you might want to try something else. Like I said, a neutron cannon, or the sucker punch. That's another one. I don't think there's a shot for the sucker punch, because these are just. I don't think they have all of them listed. Not yet. No, I don't see it. But yeah, sucker punch, which I'm still kind of curious about. I believe that the sucker punch, what it does, it wreaks havoc on a ship's systems. Random acts of like crazy like disruptions. Like it cuts off power to like to your avionics, or it'll disrupt power to your thrusters, or it'll disrupt power to your weapons. I think it's random. I don't think you can target certain areas with them. It's just wherever it hits, it does a random effect to the ship. I think so. But those might be good too. Actually, I think those might be kind of like, they might be outlawed. I don't know if you can use those in like an arena, because that'll give you a really unfair advantage. Especially if you were flying, like say you had a saber, and you can run stealth with it, and you have, ooh, that would be, oh yeah, and you have a saber. Say like you're a bounty hunter. Instead of using say a stalker, say if you have a saber that can run stealth, and then instead of like regular lasers, because you don't want to kill the guy, you want to catch him alive. Well, you could probably partner with somebody, because you can't put him on your saber nowhere. But I mean, you can catch him alive. You could use like neutron cannons and the sucker punch cannons to really ruin his day. I mean, I can see that. I can see that. All right, let me get off here. Let me move on to the next section here. Now I'm going to go into general defense. What I mean by general defense, I mean nothing specifically aimed to do anything. Say a combat loadout is basically designed to put an end to your target really quickly before they kill you. General defense is not necessarily meant for outright offense. It's just some basic weapons to protect yourself in the event of an attack. Let's just say you have, let's look up here. Let's say you have, oh yeah, that's a good example of like an 85X. It's not really, I mean, it's considered a snub fighter, but what it has is not, designed to take on something, let's say, like a saber. No, it's not going to happen. I mean, even though a saber is somewhat squishy, they're not as squishy now in patch 3.0. They have a little bit more armor, so they're a lot more formidable than they used to be. So I mean, with a with an 85x general defense, basically whatever that ship came with is your basic defense. I mean, if you have, let's say, a Hornet that just came with just two repeaters, there you go. It's no souping up, no nothing. It's basically as is. What you get off the show floor is what you got. If you have, let's say, with certain ships, you might need to tweak a little bit. Let's just say you had you got an Aurora, right? Let's see. Let's look up an Aurora here. Okay, Auroras are a little different because they have limited hard points. Limited hard points. Some of them can be tweaked. um, Especially in the in the missile rack department. Some of these Auroras you can swap out the size 2 missile rack that holds two size 2 missiles and swap it out for a I forget the name of the missile rack, but a missile rack that holds 4 size 1s. So that gives you, I mean, it's kind of like taking a size 2 weapon and dividing it in half, right? But it gives you more shots. So if you just have 2 size 2 weapons and you missed a shot, there are no more missiles, right? But if you have 4 of them, you got at least 2 more shots to to squeeze off, and hopefully you score a hit. And of course, the certain Auroras don't have the wing hard points like the LN or the LX. So you're pretty much stuck with the lasers up front, which is okay for general defense. I mean, honestly, with an Aurora, I mean, I will probably, you can either go either way with these. You can either just keep the lasers that they come with, or swap them out. Say with like the MR, if I pull the MR up, the Marquis, the Aurora Marquis comes with two long swords, I believe. Let's see here if we got one. These aren't alphabetized. Look good. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yep. Yeah, they are. They're good. Okay, so let's put the MR up. And, oh, wait, I just noticed that. Radar size. So this is your cross section. So you have a small cross section. Okay, that's interesting. All right. It's the same thing here with a Saber. It has a small cross section, so it's small. It's a small radar return. All right. Okay, we're moving along. Anyway, looking at the MR, I think the MR comes with like 2 long swords, if I'm not mistaken, and it has a missile rack that has 2 size 2 missiles on it. But you can swap out that rack for size 4. I mean for 4 size 1s, because I have an Aurora LX, and I added 2 neutron cannons to the wings here, and I kept the lasers down there. But up here, I replaced the size 2 missile rack with the size 1 missile rack. So I have 4 size 1s up there, and vice size 2. So I mean, you can mess around with the general defense, and you'll have something to protect yourself with. Now, in the case of ships that aren't well armed, like let's say you have a core, you could do something with the core too. Now, I mean, because here we go. Let's put this core up here. Now you could do something with this guy, because sure, it only has it only has 2 size 1s under here, but you can put any size 1 weapon under here that you want to. The fun part is here. It has a size 3 gimbaled hardpoint that's designed for the tractor beam that's going to come with it. But you could put a weapon here. I mean, I put a size 3 mantis there, or I put a size 3 gimbal and added a size 2 repeater, and there you go. Or you could put a size 2 sawbuck there, or broadsword. I mean, you can tweak it just enough so that you have enough firepower, to protect yourself. And that's going to move me into the last category, deterrent, because I'm going to talk deterrent next. And stick around. last bit. Thanks for hanging with me. Um, I kind of picked up a few things on my own while I was talking about this. Had some ideas about my ship loadouts and stuff. So now I'm just going to talk about deterrent. Deterrent is basically a loadout that will either slow down or stop your target. The whole idea about a deterrent loadout is to keep the bad guys off of you long enough for you to bug out. That's it. I mean, if you have, good thing I have the core up. Let's just say you have, you got a core and you're flying around minding your business, and you're doing let's say a cargo run, right? And then you get attacked by, pick somebody up here to see what we got. Oh, damn. That's ooh. Okay, well, put him up. Okay. Oh, my God. I was to say it's sayonara, but hey. Okay, let's just say you're doing a cargo run in the core, right? And then there's some few shots to go across your bow, and you look behind you, and lo and behold, there's a freaking Vanguard bearing down on you. What the hell do you do? Obviously, your firepower is no match for this guy's armor. Whatever you put on his core, even a size 3, you could put a mantis on there. It would harangue him a little bit, but you're really not going to damage him much in the ship, unfortunately. However, if you swap out your lasers for a pair of sucker punches, right? And maybe throw a neutron cannon up here or a repeater, he's going to leave you alone because those sucker punches are going to wreak havoc on the operating systems of this ship. They're going to do random things to this poor guy's ship. It's going to, the sucker punches will either shut down the navigation systems, weapon systems, avionics. It'll shut down the fuel injectors where he can't go anywhere. His ship will just simply die out. It'll do really weird things to his ship. And while his ship is, floundering, you can probably squeeze off a few shots with your repeater or your mantis or whatever and cause some damage to his ship, which is going to make him turn around and try to regroup and come back at you from a different angle. And while he's doing that, you're bugging the hell out. And so, I mean, a deterrent really decide, it's going to slow this guy down so you can get away. So you don't necessarily have to fight. So my primary weapons for like a deterrent loadout would be, again, sucker punches, neutron cannons. Another one would be, another one would be the scatter gun. Oh my, yeah. The scatter gun would be a good deterrent too, on this ship. And yeah, I'm talking about the core because I told you I'm trying to make this ship an excellent starter. I'm telling you, I'm going to redeem the ship. That's my mission. So I'm going to focus on this Joker, and I'm going to make it work. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I mean, you could put a scatter gun on this Joker, and you can wallop this guy with neutron cannons, and when the shields are wavering and they're getting weaker, you can just hammer them with that, with that scatter gun close in, and you might be able to take out the turret or something with that scatter gun and make them think twice. And so while this guy's trying to regroup, you're getting out of there. So I mean, deterrence again is straightforward. It's not meant for outright combat. General defense is kind of like the same thing. It's not really, you can do outright combat with general defense, but it's not going to give you the amount of damage you need for like combat, because combat is like a straight kill. Period. You just want to blow them up as quickly as possible, and you want to punish them. That's what a combat loadout would do. But I mean, general defense, again, you could do combat with that. I mean, it's not saying you can't, but you can. It'll just take you longer. But a deterrent is not combat at all. It's strictly strategic. It's designed to keep people off of you so you can just get away. That's it. It's not for you to get the upper hand, because if you try to get the upper hand and this guy regroups, it's going to be your ass. Especially if you come across something this massive, you're going to have problems. So, yeah, a neutron cannon or the sucker punches, or if you have Even if you have an Avenger Warlock. But what I don't know about the Warlock is when you use the EMP in that ship, will it shut down the ship itself or just the ships around it? That I did not catch. I'll have to look that one up. I'm trying to see if I find a Warlock here. But I know what's in here. Oh, there it is. Pull it up here. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just say you have a Warlock, and you can use the EMP as a deterrent. Even the Saber Raven can also be used as a deterrent because I think the Saber Raven is also an EMP ship, and its weapons are EMP based because I think its weapons are designed to shut down systems in a random order, just like a sucker punch, or unless they do come with sucker punches. I don't know. Let's see. But these tell me what. No, they won't tell me which weapons are on there. I'll have to go look that up. But I don't feel like going to the RSL website for that. But yeah, anyway, that's what deterrents do. A deterrent loadout is going to slow down or stop your enemy so you can get away, point blank. So my best suggestions for a deterrent loadout: sucker punches, neutron cannons, scatter guns, even a big freaking laser, like a size 3 laser, will be a pain in the ass for someone who is attacking you. Because again, lasers can whittle down shields, even a size 2 or size 3. If you have say you had the core, you throw a size 2 or size 3 laser on there, and you're going to be a pain in the ass. And so you can slow them down or chase them off just long enough for you to get away, and that's it. And that way you can survive, to do another cargo run later. So with that being said, I'm done. I hope I made some sense. I hope I got you thinking about some stuff. And the reason why I didn't cover missiles is because they're self-explanatory. Missiles blow shit up. I mean, how deep can you go into missiles? I mean, you have missiles and you have your torpedoes, and they do the same thing. Torpedoes are much slower than missiles. Certain missiles are easier to dodge. I think like the infrared missiles are a little harder to dodge because they track energy signatures. Now, I mean, you could probably counter by going stealth, but that would entail slowing down so they can catch you. I don't know if that'll work, but I just didn't talk about the missiles because I really didn't see the need. I mean, there's no. I mean, there's so many different versions of missiles, of course, but I just really didn't see the need to it because they're self-explanatory. I mean, you just point it, aim it, shoot it, and then forget it. Unless they're the lower level ones, like the marksmen, which these are pretty. The marksmen are pretty. They're pretty reliable. Don't get me wrong, and they cause some serious damage. But I mean, I like the sparks better. These guys, they could do some damage. But yeah, I just didn't talk about these guys because they're really self-explanatory. Torpedoes, I would love to see these in game finally. The only ship. Well, there's 2 ships that I know of that will be carrying torpedoes. That'll be the Gladiator and the Retaliator. Oh my God! Did you see the torpedoes inside the Gladiator? Oh, I'm not the Gladiator. I mean the Retaliator. Oh my God, they're so freaking big. I mean, I just want to see one of those jokers just blow up. I'm not even a combat pilot. I just want to sit on one of these ships and just watch somebody lob one of these at a large capital ship and watch it blow up. Oh my God! But yeah. There you go, man. I just wanted to share my little 2 cents, and hopefully I got you thinking about how to load out your ship properly, and make you decide what you're gonna do with it. Do you want to play PvP all the time? That means you will have to seriously consider what kind of loadout you're gonna use. I mean, if you're just gonna be just traipsing about the verse, doing your business, then a general defense will be just fine for you. I.e., showroom floor model. I mean, what you get and what comes with the ship when you initially get it. That's it. Or you can swap it out for a deterrent. So, and I would recommend the deterrent loadout for vessels doing a lot of business. say if you're a starfarer, having a pair of sucker punches on your starfarer would be a good idea. Yeah, I have a starfarer, and I'm thinking about that. So I think maybe not all of them, but one of my turrets, namely the one up top, I will put a pair of sucker punches on that. Just because those sucker punches will slow down the ship, and it will give me some time to get away. Because Starfarer is very, very, very slow. It turns slow, it accelerates slow, and it takes even longer to go into jump. And so if I have something that can slow down a pirate or an aggressive player just long enough for me to get away, I will probably go with the sucker punches. But anyway, there you go. I'm out of here. I'm done. And I hope you guys are having a great week. The week's over with. I hope you guys are having a great Friday night. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll do another video this weekend. So, right now, I'm trying to think about format. I just don't want to do random stuff. I want to stay. I'm the kind of guy who likes to stay focused and have a purpose to do certain things. I'm kind of like anal that way. So I've been thinking about a format, like maybe having a 3-day schedule where, you would know if you tune in to my channel on a certain day, this video will pop up. Or you tune into my channel on this other day, that video will pop up. So I'm thinking about stuff to do. I just don't want to just pump out videos, whatever. I just don't want to. I'm not that kind of guy. I like to do stuff to make people make you think and wonder and ask questions and stuff. So stay tuned, guys. It's coming. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and I will check you guys later.